The latest Genshin update contains a lot of new and exciting content, and these are the top 5 new features coming with the 5.1 version. Okay, starting off with new content, Archon Quests Act 3 and 4 will be available during the version 5.1, and from what I understand, these arcs will focus on finding a way to forge the Traveler's ancient name. And to do this, the new tribe, Masters of the Nightwind, will be helping us out. One of the members, XILONEN, is supposedly going to be of great help. She kinda looks like a comedic relief character based on the face expressions, but if you're looking for a mysterious, cool guy, well, there's also XILONEN, who's gonna help us fight against the Abyss. One interesting thing to note, I was reading up on the Masters of the Nightwind tribe, and supposedly each tribe represents one element. Like, Nightwind tribe is supposed to be Cryo, and I think XILONEN does have a Cryo vision on her. But if you look at XILONEN's vision, he is carrying Electro on his back. So either I'm confused, or there can be two elements in a tribe? Anyway, hopefully this will become clear after this update arrives. Now, just like last time, you can claim 500 Primo Gems for completing the Archon quests, and XILONEN's tribal quest is also going to be available. And I believe this will allow us to complete the final chapter of the Children of the Echoes tribe, and on top of that, by completing this tribal quest, you can claim rewards similar to the ones given away for free to ascend Mulani and Kinich. I think it's time to talk about the event schedule. Weirdly enough, this event was kinda out of place in the Livestream's program, but it's called Aphid Treasure Trace, and in it, we will work together with XILONEN to capture phlogiston monsters by weakening them. Doesn't seem like there's gonna be unique rewards, just a bunch of usual free stuff. But moving over, it seems like the major event in this update is going to be focused around celebrating Nahida's birthday. I mean, she was imprisoned for a while, so why not throw a birthday for her? And basically, just like most major events, there will be 3 different activities. In the first one, I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're gonna be playing Subway Surfers with a carriage. I don't know what else to say. Then, in the second activity, we will need to spot some kind of differences between the anomalies. I don't know, sounded very sketchy. And then the last activity, it's a combat event with some extra challenges. Still, if you're not a soulless monster and decide to help throw birthday for Nahida and complete the activities, a free Candace will be waiting for you. Okay, next we have Feast of Pursuit, another combat event with some challenges. Then, Reminiscent Regiment Thrill actually seems fun because you will go into co-op and each player will need to select buffs before going into boss fights. And then finally, Lieben is coming back, baby, and we can yet again give him some crappy resources for some sweet rewards. Oh, and Genius Invocation TCG will also introduce new character, monster, and action cards. So that's pretty much it when it comes to new events. Next, I'll talk about XILONEN and the new banners after this quick message from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Punishing Gray Raven, a fast-paced sci-fi action RPG developed by Kuro Games, the same company behind Wuthering Waves. And right now, there's a huge collaboration event happening together with Blackrock Shooter, known for the girl with blazing blue eye, who was created by the famous illustrator Mr. Hugh. And you know what? You can actually play as this iconic character. Not only does she use classic moves that closely resemble the original image and style, but the popular weapon, Bladed Cannon, is also utilized to deliver amazing attacks. And all you gotta do is pull 10 times to obtain her from the Gacha system. It's that easy. But don't miss out on this, because the collaboration only lasts for a limited time. On top of that, the collab's main event, Blazing Simulacrum, also includes various activities, including a really cool chessboard realm, where you get to fight inside. And in this batch, Blackrock Shooter will also complete the fateful battle with Dead Master, which I think most players will be excited about. Also, there's tons of beautiful coatings you can pick up while the event lasts, such as the new Lucius Nightbreaker coating, While Lives Snowbreak Bloom, Bianca's Solitary Dream, and Selena's Voxelaris coatings all have reruns, and even Blackrock Shooter has a cool Elder Frame coating too. So make sure to download Punishing Gray Raven by using my link in the description, help support my channel, and check out this awesome collab. Is it a jaguar? Is it an ocelot? No, it's XILONEN, or I think that's how you pronounce her name at least. Anyway, this new 5-star Geo Sword unit is going to be available in version 5.1, and let me tell you, she looks quite amazing. Now, since she's from Natlan, when her skill is activated, she will start roller skating, which will increase the movement speed, and she can also unleash normal attacks while doing this, which looks very stylish. On top of that, she can also jump and even ride on walls. But what's really unique about the skill is that depending on what party members you have in the team, she can actually reduce the enemy's elemental resistance when she uses the skill. And if you're someone who follows the game's meta, this is a huge thing potentially, since you could also equip her with the new Scroll of the Hero of the Cinder City artifact set, and this allows her to basically shred the enemy's resistance and increase the corresponding elemental type's damage. On the flip side, she can also just deal more damage with her special normal attacks while using the skill, but this mode is only active if the team has less than 2 Hydro, Pyro, Electro, or Cryo teammates. And then, as for the burst, it will either provide healing or deal additional damage, and this will depend on the team's composition yet again. Now, let's talk about the banners. In Phase 1, XILONEN along with Shiori are going to be the featured 5 stars, and then in Phase 2, it's going to be Nahida with Hu Tao. And of course, like with every new 5-star unit, XILONEN's signature weapon is also going to be available to pull for. I will say this, Nahida is still a top tier unit for a lot of Dendro teams, but if you're interested to learn more about XILONEN's performance, I will be releasing a few videos very soon about her. So stay tuned, and hey, subscribe to my channel while you're at it. When it comes to new items and cosmetics, Envisaged Echoes will allow you to claim Zhongli's and Keqing's particles, so the Osmanthus wine guy can finally run around with some flair, I guess. And then a couple of new 4-star weapons are being introduced with this new update, but I didn't find any official info about them, so I am assuming you can just get them from the Gacha system. And then finally, it was teased during the livestream, XILONEN's new Ascension material is going to be available from this new boss, Secret Source Automaton. So, you know, just farm it until you forget about it, unless he comes back to haunt us in the abyss. I'm gonna be honest, these new quality of life changes are pretty amazing. So first of all, artifact filters will now be remembered by each character and their artifact piece individually. For example, let's say you filter out to only see the new Obsidian Codex on Kniech, and then for the flower piece, you select critical rate and damage substats. Well, normally that's fine and dandy, but the moment you exit the menu and come back, you have to repeat this process all over again. However, now with this new change, all of it will be remembered no matter how many times you exit or leave the menu, or even when you exit and come back to the game. At least that's what I presume. And of course, if you want to, you can just remove those filters and set new ones if needed. So as someone who constantly keeps shifting artifacts around my units, this is pretty awesome and gives me hope we're one step closer to artifact loadouts. Moving over, another huge change is coming for the crafting bench. Now you can just set up Ascension or skills or even weapons material planner. It will show you exactly how many materials you have and still need to ascend to level up the character or the weapon. I mean, this is amazing as well. I cannot count how many times I had to go back and forth when I screw up my calculations for the materials. Okay, what's next? Well, the Abyss is also changing. Starting from October 16th, if you have beaten floor 12 with all stars, you can immediately skip floors 9 and 10 and claim the rewards, which is great because I already feel bad slaying those cute Saurians. Still, if you only manage to beat floor 11 with all stars, then you can only skip floor 9 and gain its rewards. Oh, and those artifact loot boxes can now be opened in batch quantities instead of going through one by one. Now, this next change is a little bit FOMO-inducing, but basically, whenever a new area gets added to the game, you will be able to claim Primo Gems if you explore them, but this needs to be done within 2 game versions, so I believe it's like 2 or 3 months before this offer disappears. For example, we can see here it shows you can get 100 Primos each time you reach the current natlan map area's total exploration rate at 40, 60, and 80%. So if you already done this, you'll be able to claim the 400 Primo Gems once the update is live, otherwise you have some time to complete it before this event disappears. And then there's a few minor changes, like Trounce domains will be sorted from newest to oldest when you open up the Adventurer's Handbook, and then a small optimization was made to Commissions tab when you open the book. Finally, the first Natlan's OST is gonna drop soon, and then there was this whole nostalgic callback to everything that happened to Genshin for the past 4 years, since, you know, when this video is live, we are 1 day away from the 4th anniversary. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the new 5.1 update. Hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching it. I've been very sick lately, so I haven't been posting as much, but I'm working on a few exciting videos as we speak. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.